Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your Midday News Fix for Friday the 5th of April. The Prime Minister says hundreds of millions of dollars more have been put on the table towards police pay negotiations. Police have been offered another pay proposal to vote on after rejecting one last month. Chris Luxon told Kerry Woodham the government backs police, but there are many reasons we're losing cops to Australia.
That's what happens when the average salary in Australia is almost $30,000 more than it is in New Zealand, because they're a much richer economy and we're a poorer economy. And that's why we're working hard also on tax relief for police officers, making sure we make it better for police officers that are renting.
Confirmation the replacement for the Productivity Commission, the Ministry for Regulation, will not be cost neutral. It will run alongside the Public Service Commission, Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet and Treasury. Speaking to the Herald's On the Tiles podcast, Minister for Regulation David Seymour estimates the new ministry will have more staff than the Productivity Commission.
It won't be cost neutral, but we will have funded the majority of the new ministry by taking activity elsewhere.
Israel has been asked to take steps to address humanitarian suffering and civilian harm in Gaza, with US support for Israel depending on the result. The official record of a call between US President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been released. Biden emphasized that the strikes on humanitarian workers and the overall humanitarian situation are unacceptable. US National Security Council Coordinator John Kirby says it will take active participation and negotiation from both sides.
And that's what the president is urging. He's certainly in the call with Netanyahu, urging that the prime minister empower his team to the maximum extent possible to see if we can get this deal in place.
The foreign minister's heading to the US for high-level talks with top government and UN officials. Winston Peters leaves for New York tomorrow and will fly to Washington, D.C. a few days later. Political editor Jason Walls has more.
While in New York, Peters will be meeting with UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. He'll also address the UN General Assembly, where he will convey New Zealand's deep concerns about the situation in Gaza. Peters says spending time in New York and Washington allows New Zealand the opportunity to engage with key UN and US senior leadership on pressing regional and global security issues.
A belief public trust will play a big part in the future of facial recognition in stores. The Privacy Commission has launched an inquiry into Foodstuff's North Island trial of facial recognition technology in 25 of its supermarkets. Michael Webster will monitor the way that stores are running the trial to make sure it's compliant with the Privacy Act. Retail NZ CEO Carolyn Young says there's currently signage at the supermarkets telling people the trial's underway, which is crucial.
It is really important that consumers feel confident that their image isn't being kept and saved and stored in a way that's not appropriate.
To sport, 4 more sailors have been selected for the Paris Olympics. Isaac McHardy and Will Mackenzie will attend their first games in the 49er class, while past attendees Joe Alay and Molly Meach will compete in the 49er FX. The New Zealand Rugby Board scrum is refusing to budge, under pressure from the Players Association for mass resignations as part of governance reforms. And golfer Ryan Fox has delivered a mercurial first round at the Texas Open. He shot 5 bogeys and 7 birdies to card a 2-under par 70. That's 4 shots off the clubhouse lead. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.